Two of our soul's biggest lessons are discernment and choice. But these aren't just lessons that we came here to learn. We came here to master them. Why? Because we've wanted to learn one simple truth, and that's truth with a capital T. The truth is that all is already given, both good and bad, and that we have a choice in which one we'll go with. Without discernment, though, will we make the right choice? If you've ever wondered how to navigate the plan your soul has for you, how to dodge the obstacles, or maybe make the most of the obstacles, then this episode is for you.
Well, hi there and welcome. My name is Remy, like Remy. I'm a best-selling author and creator of the Get Unstuck Revolution. I help extraordinary women with big-ass dreams just like you who want to get unstuck from a life that doesn't work and get to where you know you need to be, into a life that's filled with passions and purpose. Now let's get started with today's episode.
Okay, let me jump off the screen here and change over to my laptop. Today, we're talking about how to navigate our soul's plan. We started with this last week in the episode called The 7 Stages to Align with Our Soul's Plan, if you'd like to go back and listen to that. But if you've ever screamed to the heavens, just tell me what to do, then you're someone who's looking for how to navigate life's journey. This idea of discernment and choice will make it so much easier. If you aren't getting the success you want in full abundance, however you identify with success, and if you're wanting to tap into a greater knowingness and align with higher frequencies so that you can attract the success you're craving, then this episode is for you. Maybe it's time to open up to your hidden power and create something unimaginable, something totally unreasonable, something that maybe even seems impossible to kick your whole life and all your success into high gear for whatever success means for you. And today, I'm going to try and get you one step closer. As business owners, change makers, thought leaders, innovators, disruptors, or even if we haven't found the right fit in the world yet, whether we're talking about our relationships at home or at work, or when we're talking about our finances, sometimes we find that we're moving away from success. So how do we overcome this? How can we find the clarity and courage we need so that we can unlock our hidden power? Well, it's time to be unabashedly, unapologetically, happily untethered to ego thinking. It's time to allow that soul connection instead so we can broadcast our hidden power from the hilltops. This episode is for you if you wonder, how can we overcome indecision and make better choices? If it's already given, as they say, or ask and you shall receive, then why do I keep asking for good things, yet I keep getting so many challenges? And how can I navigate this journey without so many painful experiences? Yep, these episodes are about how to find your hidden power when you want to transform challenges into successes. I like to call it the audacity of alchemy, because when you're feeling stuck, it's never the situation that has you stuck. It's your energy that's become stuck in doubts, worries, frustrations, indecision, and often this is because of a spiritual injury that we've experienced, some kind of hidden trauma. So it isn't the pain of your situation, it's the pain of not being connected in a natural energy of who you really are, of being connected to that magical part of you that's a creative vibrational being who can use positive energies to create what you want and bring it into physical manifestation. Part of this process is to allow your manifestations to materialize and not get stuck in the negative vibrations that block them. These positive energies that we talk about so much are where we find the magic of alchemy. And using your hidden power means using these positive energies to effect transformation because, boy, if you're like me, then you're someone who has the audacity, the willingness to take bold risks and transform challenges into success. So let's talk about this idea of transformation and the audacity of alchemy, because your choice of frequency can change the course of your journey. So 2 of our soul's biggest lessons are discernment and choice. Let's just take a quick look at the difference between discernment and judgment, though, because if you had to give a definition for these 2 words, could you do it? Well, judgment often has a connotation of punishment. Some people think of it as a divine sentence. Others think of unwanted opinions and even bullying. Judgment actually means to evaluate by comparing. So what does discernment mean? Well, you'll often hear me use the word discernment instead of judgment, and that's mostly because of the clients I work with who have been invalidated. They've been squashed, their needs ignored, and often they've been told that they don't matter. In other words, they've been judged, but not in a kind way. So I often use the word discernment, which actually means the act of perceiving or just simply perception. And I think it's no accident that last week we talked about healing and that healing is nothing more than a shift in perspective or a shift in perception. Could this mean that the reason we haven't healed in a particular area is because we've been judging ourselves or judging the situation or someone else is judging us? I'll just let you sit with that for a minute. So why are we talking about discernment today? Because this is one of the things that we came to this Earth School to master. We talk a lot here about ego and ego thinking. Ego thinking is the negative thoughts that we say and hear. These are the thought patterns that are based in doubts, worries, confusion, indecision, anger. These are the thoughts we hear when we're coming unhinged or when we're spinning out of control. And while there are a lot of different definitions for ego, and a lot of people who feel like we should just release ego or overcome ego because ego is so bad for us, I actually believe that ego is not only here to protect us, but also to show us the differences, to help us discern between what we want and what we don't want, so that we can make a choice to create experiences that we'd like to experience. In other words, if we're in a situation that brings up emotions like sadness, overwhelm, annoyance, or frustration, we're very likely sitting in judgment, but in a negative way. We know that our negative reactions are an opportunity to choose something different. We can choose our perspective. We can choose our thoughts about the situation. Because remember, we're never stuck in the situation, but we get stuck in our negative thoughts about a situation. So we can choose different thoughts when we change our perception. It's a choice. You know, I had someone in a workshop recently who was feeling guilty. Her stepdad was pressuring her to visit her kids, and yet he was an abusive alcoholic with a track record of abandonment, and he had shown no regret or remorse or any signs of changing. And so she was apprehensive about what to do. She didn't know how to shake these feelings of guilt. She didn't know how to change her perception. So I asked her, aside from this guilt, what other energies were present when she thought about this uncomfortable situation with her stepdad, and she said, conflict, struggle, drama, manipulation, escalated emotions. These are all negative energies, right? So I asked her, what were the exact opposite energies? What energies did she wish for more in the positive realm? And she said, strength, wisdom, courage, and certainty about what to do. So we drew an imaginary circle on the floor, if you want to just imagine that for a second, and this was a circle of strength, wisdom, courage, and certainty. And I asked her to step inside the circle that we just drew there on the floor in our imaginations. And with discernment, which simply means to evaluate with comparison, what did her inner strength tell her? What did her wisdom tell her? What did her courage have to say? What kind of certainty was she looking for? And one by one we went through these and even a few more. And at the end of the exercise, she said that she's a light worker, and not only did she want to protect her own energy, but she wanted to protect and nurture the energy of her kids. So through discernment, she was able to make a choice. Her choice wasn't anything hateful or life-changing, really. Her choice wasn't anything to feel guilty about. Her choice wasn't about making her stepdad wrong. Her choice was to simply say, not now. This freed her up to protect and nurture her own energy, and it left her stepdad with a choice of stepping up or not. It was a boundary that said, I'm going to choose to have only positive energies around me. Using this discernment, she could choose. Discernment is deciding between truth and untruth, between what's real and what's false, between love and what's not love. Discernment is deciding between love and illusion, or positivity and negativity. So one discernment would be only love is real, everything else is illusion. In other words, the guilt, conflict, struggle, and drama that she was feeling was the illusion asking her to change her energy. Because our choice of frequency, when we choose these positive energies, we change the course of our journey. So, we're here to master discernment and choice. In fact, while I'm thinking about it, let's land on this just for a minute. Discernment is recognizing that only love is real and everything else is the illusion that's asking us to realize that only love is real. Make sense? These positive energies of love, compassion, patience, resilience, this is where we find our hidden power. And the negative energies are where we give our power away because negative energies don't represent these higher frequencies of love. So discernment is recognizing that only love is real and everything else is the illusion that's asking us to realize that only love is real. So while I'm thinking about it, and as this begins to soak in just a little bit, if you already know that you're ready to dissolve life's obstacles that are on your path to success, if you already know that you're ready to make some changes and be a creator, then you might be ready for this amazing new tool to get you moving into some better patterns and frequencies where success can find its way to you. It's called the Alchemy Matrix, and it's going to help you shape your destiny. It's an interactive roadmap designed to help you solve problems, dissolve barriers, heal spiritual injuries, and bring in a lot of clarity so you can create a future that you'd like to see. Just a brief reminder that you can sign up to learn more about the Alchemy Matrix at successcircleworkshops.com, and I promise to tell you more about that in just a minute. Okay, so we were talking about the gal from the workshop with the stepdad, and by using discernment about the qualities and behaviors of her stepdad, she could choose the right energetic path which would lead her to a best possible outcome. Because our choice of frequency can change the course of our journey and the outcome that we'll end up with. So we're here in this Earth School to master discernment and choice. We're here to master discernment and choice. Discernment is asking us to choose a higher frequency energy like resilience, compassion, inspiration, betterment, kindness, and disallow anything that isn't of a higher frequency. This is what we've come here to master. Discernment and choice. Why? Well, because we've wanted to learn one simple truth. All is already given. We've wanted to learn this. We've wanted to witness it. We've wanted to integrate it. All is already given, and it's available right now. This means both good and bad experiences. We have a choice. We have a choice between experiences that are good or experiences that are not so good. We get to choose, so we want to choose consciously. Our choice is to make distinctions in the truth, to discern what's true. And at the end of the day, well, only the positive energies can bring about change. The negative energies are based in ego, and the purpose of these negative emotions are to get us to choose something different. So, we have a choice. All the ways we can be joyful are already given. All the ways we can be angry, well, those are already given too. All the ways we can grow and expand are already given. And all the ways that we can stay confused and small, those are already given too. So with this distinction, our choices become more clear. When we have discernment, our choices become more clear. We can live in the joyful, expansive energies, or we can live in the frustration, which is simply an illusion anyway, asking us to choose something different. Every minute of every day, it's a choice because all is already given, good or bad. And knowing this helps us to navigate our journey. It's like choosing to walk through a raging storm or choosing a nice, beautiful, lazy river. It's a choice. So we came here wanting to learn discernment and choice so that we can know the truth, that all is already given, good or bad. What we experience is up to us. It's our choice. And this helps with the navigation of our journey. This is how we navigate our soul's plan. With discernment, we can make the right choices. So remember when I mentioned the gal at my workshop? She was feeling guilty about her stepdad because he wanted to spend more time with her kids. Well, did she make the right choice? It's not our place to judge. Was she suffering a spiritual injury because of her experiences? Of course. And she wanted to not only to not only break this pattern, to heal this pattern, and to make new choices, but also to protect her kids from this pattern by modeling her own courage and strength and positive energy flows. Because she learned in the workshop that her choice of frequency could change the course of her journey. With discernment, she could see that he was still controlling, still a bully, still fixed and unbending, not a team player, and still invalidating. And this discernment helped her to make a choice, not to say no, but to say, not now. Having this shift in perception changed her energy. It changed her frequency. She could see her own truth and what's right for her and her kids. She could have walked away. She could have said no. And maybe this would have made her guilt worse. Maybe the invalidation would have continued. We don't know. But I'm a big believer in doing what's right and doing what's right for you. It's so much easier when we can strip away the doubts. And this is what discernment can do for you. Discernment helps you strip away your doubts. Perhaps there was so much karma there for her that she couldn't see through the fog. Perhaps it was all about cleaning up this karmic relationship. Perhaps it was a lesson in boundaries. But the point is, she had a choice, good or bad. She could change the energy to something positive, or she could continue the struggle, because all is already given, good or bad. She had to find a way to step out of doubt and into her own wisdom and courage. She had to hold steady in what was right and what was right for her. She wanted to side with the positive energies and realize that the illusion was asking her to choose her own strength and wisdom and let anything else go that wasn't in the light. It's so much easier when we can strip away the doubts. And this is why I say that this topic of discernment and choice helps us to navigate our journey. It helps us to grow. So, what are we doing here? What are we going to do with this information? Well, we're repatterning ego thinking. Ego is often there to protect us, but we don't need its protection when we're directing the energies. We no longer want to be buried in doubts, anxiety, anger, uncertainty, impatience, regret. We no longer want to feel unhinged. We no longer want to need someone or something to be a certain way because we're already filling ourselves up with divine light and grace and spiritual high-frequency thinking. We're making a choice. We no longer want to micromanage or have an incessant quest for control, but we want a new choice instead. We want to embrace ambiguities and mysteries, trusting in our soul's plan and standing in our strength, our courage, our wisdom. We no longer want to respond and react, but to feel blessed, even if things aren't going our way, blessed because we know we have a choice because all is already given. All is already given. And so we choose to respond and react to certain experiences with patience and compassion and appreciation because we know that our energetic choices can change the course of our journey. When we direct energy towards positive outcomes, we become one with the higher frequencies of acceptance, connection, and gratitude. We surrender to our soul's plan, and we trust the process because we know our soul made a plan for us before we ever got here. So, because all is already given, especially the good experiences and the positive outcomes, all we have to do is align with these higher frequencies. This bypasses resistance and fears and ego and changes the course of our journey to most joyful outcomes. So here is your exercise for today. I'd like you to imagine that you have a difficult relationship. It could be with a stepdad, a spouse, a sister, or a business relationship. And for some of you, you won't even have to imagine it because you're living it. So write down a simple statement about this relationship, past or present, and what makes it difficult. Just a bullet point, not a dissertation. Just write down a simple statement. She walks all over my boundaries. That would be an example. She consistently goes back on her word and lets me down. Another good example. She's utterly ruined my reputation on social media. Whatever it is that makes it difficult for you, just write down a simple statement. And then I'd like you to make 2 columns on a piece of paper. In the left column, write down what energies are present in this difficult relationship or situation. In our example from earlier, in the left-hand column, we had conflict, struggle, drama, manipulation, and escalated emotions. So just take a minute on a piece of paper in the left-hand column and write down 5 or 6 negative emotions that you experience when you think of this relationship. And then in the right column, what are the exact opposite energies? What energies would you wish for? In our example, we had strength, wisdom, courage, and certainty. So in your right-hand column there, just jot down 5 or 6 positive emotions that you'd like to experience when you think of this relationship. And then with discernment, which simply means to evaluate with comparison, let's look at your first positive emotion. What does it tell you? And then look at that second positive emotion that you wrote down. Does it have a message for you? And then look at that third emotion that you wrote down and just begin to journal. Does it give you a sense of direction? Any messages coming up? One by one, journal about each one of these positive emotions and see what message or direction or resolution it might like to reveal to you. For instance, if one of the emotions you might like to experience is strength, well, it might tell you to stand strong in what you believe is right for you. If one of your positive emotions is wisdom, like our example, it might want you to seek help from an outside source, maybe someone who's a communication coach or a family counselor, someone who has wisdom. Or the message might even be that you already know exactly what to do. In your wisdom, you already know. And this might give you a strong sense of resolution. If one of your emotions there on the right-hand column is certainty, you might realize that you've known the answer all along. You've just been too afraid to put it into motion. What we're looking for here is discernment and then choice. And then realize that all is already given and it's available right now. And so that's your exercise for today, to really embody and use discernment and choice so that you can be in the flow of positive possibilities for success. Yep, this is your invitation to step it up a notch and then do something unimaginable, something maybe unreasonable, something that maybe even seems impossible. And remember, to the universe, nothing is impossible. All that's required from you is a shift in frequency, because your choice of frequency can change the course of your journey. Well, I hope this helps you as you're using the powers of alchemy to transform challenges and obstacles into positive new successes. But if you still can't get your head around what's got you stuck, you can tell me about it. You can leave a question here, or if you're someone who has the audacity, the willingness to take bold risks, to transform challenges into success, well, you can find out more about our events at successcircleworkshops.com. This is where you can learn more about the audacity of alchemy and how to unlock your hidden power. You'll get a personalized, interactive roadmap that's custom designed to get you unstuck by unlocking your hidden power to create big, magical changes. You know, alchemy. You'll learn to solve problems, dissolve barriers, and bring success to you. So don't wait. Go to successcircleworkshops.com and get your personalized Alchemy Matrix package right now. And here's what you'll get. A full-color workbook filled with hands-on exercises to inspire your creative energies, membership in your very own Success Circle for high-level masterminding and networking, your very own customized Alchemy Matrix to unlock your hidden power and bring success to you, and your very own personal Unstuckologist. Remember, the Alchemy Matrix is the only tool of its kind, and it's only available here. So if you're ready to approach your life's challenges with audacity, if you're ready to finally banish frustration, indecision, and the negative spiral, if you're ready to watch success materialize right before your eyes, then don't settle for another minute of ordinary. Go to successcircleworkshops.com and get your personalized Alchemy Matrix package right now and watch the magic start to happen. Thanks for joining me today, and I'm wishing you a life filled with all the alchemy you need to bring success to you. Feel free to share this video with anyone you know who's feeling stuck, and I look forward to seeing you in one of our upcoming Success Circles. You can find out more at successcircleworkshops.com.